But then he walks this little girl home, and he seems like really like he like walks her home and like holds hands with her the whole way and stuff. But I gotta talk about their holding hands. So I was looking through IMDb later, and in IMDb in the credits, one of them is the girl who Sean was walking home.
Yeah.
That little girl is credited as Sean's girlfriend, and in parentheses it says rumored. Rumored? Who made that credit, Kyle? What weirdo went in there and was like, I bet they're dating. I can't confirm it, but I bet they're dating. I'm going to put rumored. It's like, what the fuck is this? What is weird. It's so weird. Oh, God. Hello, and welcome back to Good Bad Media LLC, show watch terrible movies, tell you should too. Ho, ho, ho. It's Christmas, Kyle.
Yay.
I'm Mr. Brian Shilgo. He's Mr. Kyle Hinton.
Hi, everybody.
We're people. It's our Christmas spectacular episode. Somebody recommended this on Patreon, I believe.
I can tell why.
Christmas, a time of goodwill and cheer celebrated by many all over the world.
Holy shit, I can't wait to talk about this movie.
This is, first off, Krampus.
Krampus. The Christmas devil.
Yes, a mythical creature who aided, well, I wouldn't say aided Santa, but was the opposite end of Santa.
Yes.
Where Santa helped,
gave presents to the nice kids. Krampus punished the naughty ones.
You didn't just get coal, you got hell.
There is an all but forgotten tale of the Yule Lord Krampus, the Christmas devil and executioner of the wicked.
In this movie, they say that right at the beginning there here, that like Krampus murders the kids.
Is also the secretive brother of Saint Nick, whose job is the termination of the lives of children.
Terminates the children who are bad. I'm like, I don't think that's the and I looked it up. It's not. The mythology of Krampus is that he whips the bad kids. It's like still fucked up, but it's not like murders them or whatever. But yeah, so this is Krampus the Christmas Devil. It is a 2013 film written and directed by Jason Hole. And boy, oh boy, as soon as it started, I saw that ITN logo. I was like, let's go. Let's go.
This has shades upon shades of Alex Mason.
Dude, Kyle, I could not get over how this felt like it was ghost directed by Alex Masonet. This is an Alex Masonet movie. It's wild.
This is the guy that drove me to the hospital 15 years ago when I got shot.
Listen, 100 years ago, I don't know what happened between you and him. Nobody knows the whole story. Let it go.
You know, it's been 10 years since we saw something like this in this region.
What are you saying? You're saying serial killer?
We'll get into it, but it was every hallmark of an Alex Masonet movie in this fucking movie.
It's incredible.
It's insane. But we open up on just so much stock footage for like, just like 8 stock footage shots. One of them I was like, hey, I've used that one before. It was like a shot of like a Christmas like village or something like that. And I was like, that looks familiar. But it's just a whole bunch of like fucking stock footage. And then they're kind of explaining the myth of Krampus or whatever, the backstory.
And some fantastic special effects, which is just like fade in and then like just go towards the camera.
Oh, well, that's the actual credits in a second, but this is before the credits. We get the present unwrapping transition where it zooms in, which is incredible. And we zoom in on Krampus holding a sack, and he throws it into the pond. And I was like, that's pretty metal. He like breaks a hole in the ice and drowns a kid in the pond. But then it just cuts, and the kid is coming out of the pond like immediately, and I was like, "Oh, I guess he failed. What happened?" So we'll find out what happened is that he failed to murder Jeremy Duffin.
Duffin, yeah,
is our main character.
What a great last name.
Yeah, Duffin. And he threw him as a little boy. He threw him in a sack into a frozen pond, but the kid got out and escaped, and because he crosses them out on his list, but then it like uncrosses out or whatever because he survived.
What the hell?
Then we get the opening credits that says Snow Day Studios presents, and I was like, a movie composed entirely of stock footage and cheap After Effects templates. But during these credits,
sounds like a Neil Breen movie.
Yeah, right. But during these credits, there's this incredible moment where they're forever long. These credits go forever.
It went quite a while. I had to click through to see how long it was.
Holy shit! And it's like a book that just the pages keep flipping. And then the last one, like you said, is the logo for Krampus, the Christmas devil, and it flies at the screen, and you can see the edge. It's just so bad. It's like a low res PNG that they just zoom in. It's so bad. I will say initially the premise at least kind of was made sense. Okay, Krampus, you've changed it to where he murders kids. He failed to murder
but it's
a
like
kid.
every 10 years?
Yeah, it seems like it's every 10 years apparently.
Yeah.
You know, it's been 10 years since we saw something like this in this region.
But he murders kids, but he failed to murder this kid, and now this kid grows up to become a detective to solve other kid murders and disappearances. Like, okay, sure. As a premise that's fine. It makes sense at least. It's not like super original, but it makes sense.
Jeremy, where were you? Jeremy, are you all right?
Jeremy, answer your mother. Jeremy, answer your mother. Jeremy, answer your mother.
So we get into the movie proper, and immediately the Alex Maisonette of it all just punches you in the face because he goes into work.
He goes into work, and what do they talk about, Brian?
Oh, his past, like 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
You know, it's been 10 years since we saw something like this in this region.
10 years ago.
10 years ago. 10 years ago. I do like how their police chief is basically just bald Brian Cox.
Yeah. Yeah. But I couldn't get over the way it's shot feels exactly like an Alex Maisonette movie.
Very flat against walls.
Flat against walls with like kind of clumsy camera movements and stuff like that. And the lighting is like because there's not really much lighting. And the set itself, the police station set, is like this depressing, shitty.
Sadly enough, that is their police department.
I'm sure it is.
This film takes place in Pennsylvania, by
Edinburgh.
The way. Yep.
Spelled like an American would spell Edinburgh, which is like Edinboro, which is like, that's not how you spell Edinburgh, but okay. And yeah, it's incredible. It feels so like the ugly police station set. Everything about it feels. He even kind of looks like the guy from one of the the bald guy from the Alex Maisonette.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He kind of looks like
I had to look that up and be like, okay, it's not.
It's insane. I was like, how are we not watching an Alex Maisonette movie right now?
It's where all the kids are coming up missing, centrally located, obscure. It makes sense. You know, it's been 10 years since we saw something like this in this region.
Guys, it was 30 years ago. This is the same guy.
You got taken too?
This is the guy that drove me to the hospital 15 years ago when I got shot.
Listen, 100 years ago, I don't know what happened between you and him. Nobody knows the whole story. Let it go.
You got shot about 15 years ago. Left you for dead.
And these people might be the ones that were involved 15 years ago when I was shot.
And also you even get the thing where like people forget their lines and kind of like talk over each other in ways that is awkward.
And then they like will repeat a line going into it because like that's their editing method.
Yeah.
Does this have anything to do with your own abduction, maybe?
Does it? That's a long time ago, kid. Does it?
There's this one point here in the beginning where he's like, does this theory have something to do with your disappearance as a kid?
My disappearance as a kid?
Does it? Does it?
Does it?
Does it?
Does it?
It says does it like 4 times.
I'm trying to have a moment here.
Just people in police stations clumsily repeating lines over and over again. It could not be more Alex Maisonette. Also, every shot is out of focus.
Yes.
Like
they have 2 different cameras in this production. I'm sure you've noticed that.
I did not notice.
Obviously 2 different cameras.
Okay.
And they flip between the 2, and the quality is fucking atrocious.
Dude, every shot with maybe it's a different camera. To me the quality felt similar. It's just that like one of them that like they just whoever was running it that day had it on autofocus and it had the worst autofocus in the history of the universe. It's like
it's constantly going between the wall and like somebody in the foreground.
Yeah, but it never actually focuses on what it should. It's just like the wall or it's like a counter in the back. It's just fucking insane. Oh my god. But he's convinced. So he goes to after he talks to his detective buddy or his captain or whatever at the precinct. He goes to a bar to have some drinks with his police buddies or whatever, and they're talking about the disappearances that happen every 10 years or whatever. And he's like convinced that the guy who is kidnapping these kids is the same person that kidnapped him as a kid.
Yes. This is the same guy.
You got taken too?
What do you mean, too?
It's just a dream. Reoccurring dream. Keeps coming back.
So, do you think it's the same guy?
And also kidnapped his other partner, I think, or his other partner saw him because at one point when he's leaving, his partner comes up and is like, "Did you see his face? He doesn't look natural."
Did you see his face? No. It's not human.
Or something like that. I'm like, so you saw him too? Does everybody been kidnapped by Krampus? What's going on?
All right. They also mentioned that somebody who had been put away on, like, it got released.
Yes. Oh, that's the other.
That's just a payoff for later.
Yeah, that's the B plot, which becomes the A plot, which then becomes the B plot. It's very messy. But one guy who he locked up for something, we'll find out later, is got out of jail and is like looking for revenge, basically.
Brian Hatt got released from prison yesterday. Some lawyer got him off on a technicality. I'm not sure.
What?
And so our guy does the most responsible thing ever, which is never check in on his wife and daughter at any point throughout the course of this movie. Just leave them entirely alone, knowing that there's a guy who just got out of prison who wants revenge against him. So then after he leaves the bar, we cut back to the friends and they just sit and exposit backstory for like a few minutes.
What's up with this ex-con?
Brian Hatt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guy's a shitbag.
And then the scene fades out and we sit on black for like 8 seconds with music playing for no reason. And also there are so many black frames between edits in this movie, between scenes. It's insane.
Yep.
It's the 22nd. You have 2 days left. Scratch Brad Myers off the naughty list. He's gone good on us.
Is this where they're playing Monopoly?
Well, before that we get the meeting and we find out that Santa Claus works with Krampus.
Oh yeah, yes.
Santa Claus walks up to Krampus and is like, "Sup?"
He's got to take a business trip away from the goddamn elves to make sure Krampus is doing his job.
He's like, "You only got 2 more days to get all the kids murdered that you need to." And he goes, "Also, by the way, 2 people. You got to do Sean and Heather Duffin. Put them at the top of your list."
Heather Duffin? Move them to the top of the list.
And Kyle, this subplot about the main character's daughter is maybe the most insane thing in this movie. And I don't even know if you got what I think the plot is. Did you?
No, I guess not.
Oh my God. We'll get to it. I think what this movie insinuates about his daughter, I think we'll get to it. It's insane. We'll get to it.
Okay.
We'll get to it. I don't even know. But this is the first clue of maybe what's going on. He says, "Put Heather Duffin on the top of your list."
Top priority. Do you understand?
Yes, Nicholas.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay, remember. Sean Roberts and Duffin.
Which is, again, the detective's daughter. And supposedly, they only put bad kids on that list.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to it. Then, meanwhile, he comes home from the bar with his friends and also has another drink. He, like, walks into his home bar, and we get this great moment where he's, like, opening whiskey and stuff, and there's no sound except for, like, very obvious, terrible sound effects, like,
yes.
like the cork and stuff like that. It's incredible.
Also, his house feels empty as shit.
Yeah. And then he walks into his office, and it's just got this giant map on the wall with missing posters everywhere. My guy literally he pulls a gun out of a safe.
Yes, he goes, one for you and one for me. And
plays Russian roulette.
What?
I don't know, man. But luckily he doesn't, or unluckily for us as an audience, he doesn't kill himself here in the movie. But he plays Russian roulette because he's so haunted by his past demons or whatever. Then we cut to Sean, who is playing Monopoly.
Yes. And what's the worst thing you could do at Monopoly?
Flip the board, baby. So he accuses one of the other kids of cheating, and then he fucking flips the board and storms out. But then the little girl he was playing with, and this shit, I got a note here, gets a phone call from, I guess, her parents or whatever, like, time to come home. And she says to Sean, she's like, hey, can you walk me home? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, wait a second. Okay, so he was obviously being a shithead for like flipping the board. Don't do that. Shitty move. But then he walks this little girl home, and he seems like really like he like walks her home and like holds hands with her the whole way and stuff. But I gotta talk about their holding hands. So I was looking through IMDb later, and in IMDb in the credits, one of them is the girl who Sean was walking home.
Yeah.
That little girl is credited as Sean's girlfriend, and in parentheses it says rumored. Rumored? Who made that credit, Kyle? What weirdo went in there and was like, I bet they're dating. I can't confirm it, but I bet they're dating. I'm gonna put rumored. It's like, what the fuck is this?
What
is
weird.
It's so weird.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Well, hi, Sean.
Then Krampus snatches him as he's walking back
burlap
home.
sack. Gotcha.
Then we cut.
Apparently that was enough information to track down him completely. It's like somebody was like, I saw a guy who was like in a weird goat Santa costume or whatever. He just went up and took that kid in a burlap sack.
Yeah.
This is the lake where they found the body last night of the kid. A couple fishermen were out here and found it.
And then, so then the next day, our guy they're going on like a SWAT raid. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
They gear up in like tactical gear. Our guy and the two cops he was talking to last night, they gear up in tactical gear, I think because they found blood in the woods or something like that. I don't know. But we spend 20 goddamn minutes watching these clowns walk through the woods in their tactical gear, and they look like your uncle. Like they just like. And one of the guys, the guy with the hood up, the white hood up, the way he like tactically sneaks is the funniest fucking thing.
And they're completely in the open. They're not like trying to take cover or anything.
Yeah, it's incredible. I love it so much. And they spend forever just walking around with their rifles like, whoa. And then they get to the lake where apparently a kid went missing. And the guy, he's like, all right, this is where the kid went missing. Let's just go look around.
There's a bunch of abandoned houses out here and caves. I think he's holed up in this area. Let's go around, see what we can find. We'll work our way up to the area where he was taken.
With full tactical gear and an assault rifle? What are we doing? Okay. Then they see something.
Yes. They have almost no identification on what or who this is.
No, at all. And they go, open fire!
Open fire!
And they all just unload.
They just unload a magazine. Every single one of them. It's like.
Where the fuck did he go? Did you guys hit him?
It reminded me of almost like South Park, where it's like Jimbo is coming right at us, and then just opening.
They all unload, and I love that Jeremy's like immediately jams or misfires or something because he has to like run the action. It's so funny. Oh my god. Yeah, he like it doesn't cycle or something. He's trying to fix it, and then they unload entire magazines. He's like, "All right, reload, get another magazine," and then they keep sneaking. And I was like, I hope the rest of the movie is just these guys sneaking around in the woods, shooting at everything that moves.
Like, what's the point of sneaking at this point? You just fired off like 30 rounds each.
I know, it's fucking hilarious. I love it so much. And also, he keeps like bending down and touching the snow like he's fucking psychic or something. Where it's not even anything there. He's just like, oh, he's here. Something's here. It's so stupid. Then he gets knocked out by Krampus, who's wielding like a flail,
like a whip or
chain?
something. I
don't know. Which I think Krampus traditionally has like a switch or something.
So he knocks him out. And then he knocks out the dude with the beard who was like also kidnapped. Previously.
That guy. Yeah, he knocks him out next to him.
Yeah,
and then starts dragging them. And then the third guy shows up, and he knocks him out.
And he just like tap dances his skull in,
crushes his skull with his hooves or whatever. It's incredible.
Hilarious.
And also, right before that guy gets killed, there's this incredible digital zoom in on him where he like turns around and the camera goes chunk, 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 and then each time the resolution gets worse.
So bad.
Then, Kyle, we cut to the cave where Krampus lives.
Yes. Which is in the greater Erie area.
Yes, and we get a close-up of a woman's butt. Kyle, Krampus, for some reason, just has some random woman naked, tied up in his cave. We will never find out who this woman is.
Or why.
Or why she's there, other than, like, I guess he's having sex with her.
Gets his jollies off.
Yeah. Fuck you. But we just...
Bye, everybody.
She's literally just there so there's boobs in the movie.
Yes, because I saw that and I was like,
literally
oh, cool.
The only reason.
Hallmark of bad indie films. Let's just
throw boobs in for again. It doesn't even make sense. Why he goes after kids and stuff. Like, why is there a random naked woman in his cave? It makes no fucking sense. Then the other guy is sitting on the ground. So the other, not Jeremy, the other cop is like sitting on the ground in the cave, and Krampus walks up to him and says, "You just made the naughty list." And I'm like,
"You just made the list."
For what? For sitting there? He didn't do anything. He's just why didn't you? I'm so lost. Then he
just pulls out like a machete or something?
And like slashes him up and then pulls his heart out.
It's still beating heart.
But he's doing. You can tell he's just wiggling his fingers underneath it to make it. Look like it's beating, and then he squishes it and it turns into jello.
Jello, what?
It's so stupid. I love it so much. Also, I'm like, how is there 45 minutes left in this movie? How is this not the end? He's in the cave with the villain of the... Like,
no, we take the climax and we put that first.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, but he's
It's like Memento.
Yeah.
Watching the whole movie backwards.
But then he gets distracted by the naked lady, Krampus does, and he like does a terrible spell effect where he like enthralls her. Yeah. And she gets horny for him, and while this is happening, our guy sneaks away.
Bye.
He's able to run out of the cave. Love it so much. And then Santa shows up.
Yes.
And he's like, "What are you doing, Krampus? Get this girl out of here."
Yes.
He kicks her out of the cave naked. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here."
What the fuck, brother? Playtime was 2 days ago. You're doing this now? Get your clothes on! Run! Have a Merry Christmas.
Then Oh my God, I have to talk about this. He goes over to the
kid. This kid might legitimately be terrified.
I have notes, Kyle. I have notes. Because I had the same note on watching this. I was like, either A, this kid is the best actor I've ever seen.
No.
He is legitimately terrified in this scene.
All right, now, Billy, we're going to stick you in this cage for like 2 days without food or water, okay?
Yeah.
And this is called method acting, and Dustin Hoffman did it a lot back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, so that was the note I had initially, was like, holy shit, that kid might actually be terrified. That's horrifying.
You know what you did? You sniveling little shit!
And then I was on IMDb, and in the trivia section...
What?
There's a note in the trivia section that says, Paul Fern, who played Santa Claus, is actually a former Miami area homicide detective. Again, like Alex Mason had movies. He actually made the child Sean, played by Benny Weaver, cry during the cage scene. Benny wouldn't return to the cave while Paul was present. Director Jason Hull had to cut a page from the script because Benny was so afraid of Paul.
At least you know he's like...
Shit's insane.
That's great.
That's also terrible. You're doing a bad job working with kids. Holy shit. That's amazing, though. Oh, my God. Hey, Benny Weaver, if you're out there, this is like, let's see, 8 years ago. You're probably like 18 now or something like that. You're like an adult. Reach out and let us know if you've recovered from Paul Firm terrifying you as a child. God. Holy shit.
You hurt and you tortured a poor, defenseless little animal. And for that, you should die. I should kill you myself!
This is the thing that I have to talk about that I think is the weird subplot of this movie that is never confirmed but has to be what is happening here.
Okay.
After he's like, Sean, he's talking to Sean, he's like, but lucky for you, I'm going to let you out because you're not the worst kid in town.
Yeah.
You know who is?
Heather
Duffin.
However, there's one more little brat in this town that's more fucked up than you are. The girl. Yes, the girl, Heather Duffin. I know how you hate doing the things that you do to the girls.
And then he says to Krampus that he knows that he's like, all these kids have been going missing, but I know you're not responsible for all of them.
All those kids that have been disappearing locally, all of them weren't on your list. That blood the cops found down by the lake, that wasn't from you, was it?
And I think, Kyle,
she's a serial
the
killer?
implication is that our main character's teenage daughter is a serial killer. Kyle,
I mean, she did have no problem stabbing that one dude to death.
I think the implied like C plot of this movie that is like not really ever addressed is that our main character's daughter is a serial killer.
Because
what's
this character's name? Sean, right?
The kid?
Yeah,
Sean. Yeah.
What he is on the naughty list for is for torturing and killing little animals.
Animal. Yeah.
What's worse than that?
Yeah, exactly. He goes, but you're not the worst kid in town. I'm like, holy shit. Oh my God. Okay, so yes, 100% the main character's daughter is a serial killer. And it's never, it's just a thing that happened.
Yep.
It doesn't, it's so weird. It's so weird. And then, so Jeremy gets away, and he gets back to the police station, and he's talking to his captain, and he's like freaking losing his mind. And there's this great scene.
And he keeps repeating stuff.
We gotta get out of here. We gotta get him. We gotta get out of here. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go.
We gotta go back. We gotta go back.
We'll go back.
Let's get the team.
Okay, we'll go back.
Look,
I need you to sit down.
I saw him.
Sit down.
There's a team out there. We gotta go.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go.
Let's go.
And then the captain just turns and goes, God damn it, listen to me.
I can get him.
God damn it, listen to me!
It's amazing. And then he takes his badge and his gun. Is like, you got to get your shit together because you're clearly like losing your fucking mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they just said that these 2 other officers have been
dead.
killed.
Yes.
This is on Christmas Eve.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Then he goes to a bar.
Yes, he goes to a bar where everybody is still in the process.
Cops?
And they're also mourning the loss of these 2 officers.
Gentlemen, to our fallen friends.
There is like no process of like shock.
No.
Let's go to set. No, we jump
it's
immediately.
like an hour later.
We jump to immediately to like bitterness towards this guy for causing this.
Yeah, they're all, and I couldn't even figure out what was happening at first because he's at the bar and he gets handed a drink in the most out of
he also gets
shot I've ever
attacked
seen.
by the Krampus in the vehicle, kind of.
Well, that's later.
I think that's
later, but he's dreaming in that scene, and that's later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he is dreaming because he wakes up. Anyways, but that is the scene later, I think. Or
I think that happened now because he took a shower at the station.
You're right. It is right now. And then he gets in his car and he starts popping pills.
Kyle
and
being right for a
you
second.
actually were right. He starts popping pills and drinking in his car, and then he thinks he's getting strangled by Krampus, but it's a dream. He wakes up. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot that is that.
I do like how he has emergency alcohol in his glove box.
Yes, and pills and a gun. Yes. Great stuff. Really good. But then he gets to this bar again. The bartender hands him the most out of focus drink I've ever seen in my life.
How you doing?
And then the news comes on.
Yeah.
And this news scene rivals News Today or any news scene in any movie ever. It is a woman who looks like she's being held hostage in a local access news studio.
So before...
I'm Sabrina Michaels with breaking news. Christmas terror in Cambridge. It has been confirmed the 2 officers were killed early this morning outside of the Cambridge Springs area.
So... Spoiler here in my life. I've done news stories and stuff in the past where you get information from the police department.
Yeah.
The ability for this news organization to get information from the death of 2 officers that happened that day hours ago is like they would have to have been in the field while these cops were getting captured and killed to be able to report it this quickly.
I love she's reporting on it, and she looks like she's being held captive, like being forced at gunpoint to do this news.
Yeah, because she keeps looking up.
Yeah, it's insane. But then she's talking about these 2 dead cops, and it puts up pictures of them, and one of them, the first one, is a picture from the movie of him in the field in tactical gear from earlier that day. And then the second one is a picture of the real life actor like at his daughter's graduation or something like that. And then she's like, and we have a comment from the captain or whatever. And they do the weirdest thing where she's like, we have a comment from the captain. And instead of like going to like a clip or something, they put up a photo of his face next to her. And she sits there in silence while we listen to him talk. It's so weird.
Captain Gil Furby could not be reached for comment, but issued the following statement.
Due to the nature and sensitivity of this case, and to the loss of 2 of our finest officers, we regret we were unable to speak about this ongoing investigation at this time.
It's so weird. I love it so much. Then he has a chat with the bartender who's like, they knew the risk. You knew the risk. Your father knew the risk. I knew the risk. Everybody knew the risk.
And also we're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, he's the bartender. Apparently he was a cop in a previous life, and now he's a bartender.
Well, the guy's name is Harry, and this is called like Harry's place or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's the owner. But like, you were not introduced up until this point. Why?
We don't know who he is or why. Yeah. But he's just like,
we were in this bar beforehand.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But he's chatting with this guy for a minute, and he's like, look, they knew the risk. It's not your fault, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets a call from his wife. And it's the editing on this phone call is so terrible. The sound, like, it doesn't always match up with, like, they're cutting back and forth from a loud bar to her home. And sometimes the sound in the bar turns off before we cut to her.
I'm fine. I'm having a beer at Harry's.
I have been freaking out. Why haven't you called me?
I'm fine. I just stopped here to clear my mind.
Okay, I just wanted to know you were okay.
It's
Great sound mixing.
Terribly edited. It's ridiculous.
But she's making cookies, and I kind of want cookies now.
She is making cookies. And then while he's on this phone call, all these random guys just start mean mugging him, and I'm like, what is happening? Who are these guys? And then we will find out that they are other cops, and they're mad at him for getting their friends killed.
Yes.
I guess is the idea.
We know you were there. And where were you 10 years ago for the rest of them? Enough! Seriously, guys.
Meanwhile, we cut back to the house as he's kind of getting into it with these guys. His wife opens the door, and it's surprise, it's the guy from before.
You said you had something for him?
The villain, or the guy who got out of jail.
Yes, the guy who got out of jail.
Kyle, this guy is incredible.
He is so damn good in comparison to everybody else in this film.
I'll take whatever I want. Oh, wait. I don't see what I want, because what I want is 10 years of my life back!
It is ridiculous.
It is criminal.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But one of my favorite little details in this scene, when they come into the house, he's carrying like an Uzi.
Yeah.
And then a different one of his henchmen is carrying the suppressor for it. And he hands it to the main bad guy just so the main bad guy can screw the suppressor on camera and whistle like Deck the Halls or whatever.
Yes.
Hey.
I was like, why would two different people be? It doesn't make any.
But like, we have this introductory, and the introductory is like fine. The following scene with him is the greatest. It's incredible.
He's going for it, and he's succeeding. It's wild. It's fucking wild.
Hi. I want to ask you something. You tell me the truth, right? Do you have any milk?
But meanwhile, one of the guys goes up to get the daughter. One of the other henchmen goes up to get the daughter, and he goes into her room, and she's like standing in the closet, like. Yeah. And then it cuts, and she's holding a knife.
Yeah, and of course,
what do you do as a guy breaking in to secure the daughter?
Well, obviously, I need to lay on the ground and get frisky.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I love that his instinct is not to like start kissing her. He's like, okay, I guess I'll just lay flat on the ground now.
What do you want for Christmas?
And you can do sex on me. It's like, what is happening? But then she straddles him and just stabs
the shit out of him.
Because she's a serial killer, Kyle. It's incredible. But then, oh my God, the editing, it's insane. We cut back to the bar, and he gets into a fight.
The worst choreographed fight ever.
They do. You can tell they're doing slow motion punches. And then speeding it up in post. It looks so bad. It looks so bad, Kyle. I was losing it during this fight scene. Holy shit. And then his buddies, the captain comes in, and he murders one of the cops.
Yes.
In the bar.
Yes.
And then they show up and murder the other cop with a baseball bat.
Hey, genius, now you're gonna see what a real beat cop does.
In the bar, in front of other people.
Yeah.
I got customers in here, okay?
They murder their own guy. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane.
So you've had 4 cops die today?
Oh my God, it's fucking insane. Then we cut back and we get this
scene.
This is the scene.
So good. This guy is intimidating.
Yep.
It
feels like he's vamping and making it up because the writing is way better than anything else like in the rest of the movie.
He's like the way he like moves and stuff.
Yeah.
Where's your husband? Your husband?
Like, this is somebody who's done acting work for years.
For sure.
He knows how.
Or is just a psychopath. One of the two.
But like the way he moves, his facial tics and stuff.
Everything.
It's so good.
It's wild.
Where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband?
I don't know.
It's so wild.
Brian, are you ready to have your brain explode? Do you know who this actor is?
No. Who?
We've had a movie with him before.
Wait, what?
Brian. His name is Bill Oberst Jr.
Okay, it doesn't.
Would you like to know what movie he did? What we did? It was another Christmas movie. The Three Dogateers.
Oh no!
He played the German dog catcher.
He's that
yes,
guy?
Yes.
Three little white dogs. I hate little white dogs.
That's him?
Yes! I knew this would blow your mind.
Wait, what?
Yes, absolutely. He's 100% him.
What the fuck? I do remember thinking that guy was kind of fun in that movie.
I had to look who this guy was because he's so much better than everybody else.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And then I was like, wait a second, this name looks a little familiar. I scrolled down and I saw Three Dogateers. I was like, what?
That's fucking insane. That is literally, I had no idea. That's wild. Holy shit. That's
your brain just imploded.
I am on your trail, little white dogs.
He has this great moment where he screams at her. He's like, "Where is your husband?"
Oh my god.
Where is your husband?
And then I love after he does it, and she doesn't say anything. It's like, that usually works. I was like, that's so good. It's so good.
Damn, woman. That usually works.
She's
Spanish. She starts yelling at him in Spanish
and spits in his face.
Yeah.
And he just has zero reaction to it. It's fantastic.
Eres un hijo de puta, vas a ir a la mierda.
So
fucking amazing.
Like it's not like zero reaction to her acting.
Yeah.
He's that intimidating and crazy.
Yeah. I will say he has one line that makes no sense, and I don't know if it's supposed to not make sense or if that's just a line that somebody didn't understand what those words mean or what. But at the end of towards the end of the scene, he says, he's like, "You think people are born the way they are? Manifest destiny."
You think people are born the way they are? Manifest destiny.
And I'm like, that's not what manifest destiny means, man. That's not what that means.
Not quite. But like that whole thing is great. Like people born this way, born evil, or maybe they're twisted by their past, betrayed by people they trusted. I'm just fucking with you. It never happened.
He's like chained up in a dark room, being beaten or whatever. He's like,
you know what it's like to be afraid of the very people who are supposed to protect you. Well, neither do I, because I made all that shit up. But it's good shit. I gotta remember that.
Nah, it didn't fucking happen. I'm lying. I'm like, what is happening? It's so good. It's so good. It's wild. But then he hears something outside and he goes to investigate. And as he's leaving, we get a shot from the stairwell and the daughter is like hiding on the stairs.
Yeah.
No longer has her knife for some reason. I don't know why. But what is even happening here? He goes outside. I thought she was gonna go like lock the door and take care of the other guy.
Yeah.
No, she follows him outside and then he just finds her.
Yes.
Your Daddy knows how much I love little girls.
And she has no plan. He finds her, and then as he finds her, he's like holding her at gunpoint. Krampus shows up and murders him.
Yep.
Which is really disappointing because it's the best part of this movie by like a mile. Oh,
whatever.
fuck. You have been naughty. And then Jeremy shows up and finds the body outside, and he's clearly moving. Like, so much. He's breathing.
Yes.
He's like,
his neck is like...
His neck is moving. I was like, he's still alive.
Okay.
Whatever. But he's dead. And then I guess he sees Krampus because he shoots at somebody. And did you notice in the scene where he shoots, they add smoke effect on the gun?
No. He double tapped him.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, I thought he was shooting at Krampus or something.
No, he double tapped the dude.
Amazing. So maybe he was supposed to be kind of alive still or something then. Maybe he was
I don't know. But point being, he wasn't taking chances.
That's amazing. But did you notice on the close-up of the gun, he shoots, they add like a smoke poof?
Yeah.
But you can see, they scale, it was like a full frame effect.
They also did that with the rifles as well.
I was less noticeable.
It doesn't look as shitty
because
there.
there's snow and like it kind of hides it. But in this, it's pitch black, and you can see the edge of the rectangle where the smoke hits the edge of the frame.
God.
It's incredible. I love it so much. Oh,
there's something in After Effects called radial feathering.
There's all
maybe
kinds
use that.
So many things you could do to fix that, and they did none of them. But he gets inside, immediately shoots the other guy in the head and kills him. Just like one shot, boom, that guy's dead.
Like, hey, you got
unties his wife, or she's like zip tied to the chair. He cuts her shackles, and they're like hugging and embracing. He's like, it's okay, it's gonna be fine. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's like, he's here. Oh shit, he's here.
Yep.
He's here.
Huh?
He's here.
Who's here?
It came out of nowhere. Also, in this moment, there's this great shot where they're like talking. She keeps talking, and anytime we get the reverse shot of her, Jeremy's shoulder is completely blocking her. You can't see her. Like, we're getting a camera angle that's supposed to be like her talking, but you can't see her because Jeremy is blocking the entire frame. What is happening?
Oh, okay. But another great part. So Jeremy is played by an actor in this called AJ Leslie, right? That's the actor. It's funny that he blocked the camera shot on that, because guess what his other job was he was also a producer for the film, but he had a very specific role in the credits that I caught this whenever they go through. Script supervisor. How's your main actor the script supervisor?
It's pretty impressive. I don't know how that's pulling double duty like something.
Especially when he's the one blocking the shot.
Yeah. It's amazing. I think somehow Krampus just teleports into their home and like knocks him
out,
and
kills
murders
her,
his wife. Yeah,
and then
for some reason I don't know why he murders. Because you think the whole point is like he kills her, and then Heather's just gone. Jeremy wakes up and like falls onto his knees.
This only decently done shot in this entire film is they're dollying out, or they're I would say they're zooming out because it looks like
an actual camera move. Yeah, it looks like they're pulling back on like a crane or something.
Of him like on his knees out his front door.
And the rest of the cops are showing up. You know, it's like that classic ending of like a movie, horror movie, or like a thriller or whatever, where the cops arrive and they're like rushing into the house as the survivors like on the front porch or whatever. It's that moment. But they all rush in, and then we cut. And I was like, how is there still 10 minutes left at this point?
Well,
because there's not. But we cut. And Heather is chained up in his cave, and she turns around, and then the movie ends. Night before Christmas. And we don't know what happened.
Yep.
And then, Kyle, the credits start rolling, and
for
there's
10 minutes.
10 minutes of credits with terrible bloopers cut in.
Yeah, and hope that St. Nicholas was so
Can I help you?
I was getting ready to knock.
And Kyle, there's a sequel.
Is it made?
Yes, there's a sequel, and it's about this guy. The trailer. There's this moment in the trailer. It's my favorite thing I've ever seen. It's our main character. He comes back. His wife obviously is dead. His daughter is missing. He is in the trailer. When we first see him, he has a full head of hair and a giant beard, and we get a shot of him in the mirror.
It's happening way earlier, and it's way more intense. You're the only one that's gotten close to it.
He's coming back for revenge, Kyle.
My God.
This movie's good, man, Kyle.
The movie's incredible.
Love this movie.
This movie is so good, man. It's everything about it is. It channels Alex Maisonette in all the right ways.
In all the best ways possible. And then adds even sillier, different shit. Again, it's what if Alex Maisonette made a Christmas thriller? It's like, what the fuck? It's insane. It's insane. I love it so much. It's so good, bad. It's on Tubi. Go watch it. You will not be disappointed. Holy shit, it's amazing. That's going to do it for this episode. As always, you can do us a giant favor by heading over to patreon.com/GBorBB. Support us there for a few bucks a month. You get access to bonus content and other kind of good stuff. Merch is underneath. You can also go to tpublic.com. Buy our merch. Our merch looks just like that. Awesome.
Kind of. There we go.
Some of it. We also have Good, Bad, or Bad merch. That's just the show logo and all kinds of good stuff. I have a podcast called This One Was It. We're talking about movies that are based on books. When this episode's out, our most recent episode, I don't know. I think it's our Christmas episode when I don't know what we're doing.
Christmas for the Cranks. You already did that one.
We did that one a couple years ago. I don't know what we're doing this year.
I don't know, something Krampus related. Why not?
I'll put it on the screen. I don't know what it is, but yeah, we're doing some Christmas. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But you can go listen to that on any podcast platforms. Also, go watch Wrath of the Viper Sniper, baby. It's out. It's out, and we're in it.
You can check out Secret Agents.
Yeah, look on the grab that little one right there. I don't know where yours is, but
mine's at my place.
There you go. So this is I was Agent Lance Goodbad.
Yes,
and
I
Kyle,
was,
you were
Michael McBad or something.
Michael
like that.
McBad or something like that. Agent ID. So yeah, we had our own agent IDs for the movie.
Section 62.
For Section 62. Not to get your hopes up, we're in like less than a minute of the film.
Which is kind of how we wanted it.
Which is exactly what it should be, yeah. Surprise, we're main characters in this one.
Oh, God.
No, we have very brief cameos at the very end, towards the end of the film. So yeah, go check out. You can rent it or buy it on Amazon right now, and I think there's some other streaming services that have it, but you can go find them. That's gonna do it. Until next time, keep watching movies, especially good God, yes.
Krampus,
in the season,
the Christmas Devil. There is nothing better that blends both the seasons and bad movies.
I will say, I think this is the best good bad Christmas movie we've ever done.
Absolutely.
I think the only one that comes close is that insane. The one like last year or 2 years ago with the ginger. It was like a gingerbread Holocaust.
Oh yes, yes.
Whatever
it was.
The drummer.
The Nutcracker.
It was like the Nutcracker. It was called like the drummer.
And they have Candy Auschwitz.
That shit was also insane. But this one is so good. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2023. Until then, adios.
Keep watching movies.